After 60, your muscles stop responding the way they used to. Each year, your legs lose strength, quietly, slowly, without warning. But the most dangerous decline isn't in your legs. It's inside the delicate walls of your arteries. Tonight, I'm going to reveal how specific nighttime habits are accelerating this hidden decay and putting you at immediate risk while you sleep. We tend to think of our body as a machine that stays the same, but the reality is that your vascular system is changing texture. What used to be rubbery and flexible is becoming stiff and brittle, meaning your margin for error with diet is almost zero. When you eat the wrong foods before bed, you aren't just digesting, you are stressing a system that has lost its ability to fight back. It all comes down to nocturnal dipping. In a healthy body, your blood pressure must drop by 10% to 20% during sleep to wash the brain of toxins and repair vessel walls. The foods we are discussing today destroy this natural dip, keeping your pressure dangerously high all night and turning your sleep time into a high-risk event for ischemic damage. Let's go deep into the 5 specific categories of food that trigger this struggle, starting with the most common and arguably the most dangerous offender. Category 1. The sodium trap. Instant noodles, salted nuts, chips. Let's talk about the late-night salt craving. It hits many of us around 9 p.m. You are watching TV, maybe reading a book, and you feel a desire for something savory. You reach for a bag of salted peanuts, some potato chips, or perhaps you make a quick bowl of instant noodles because it's warm and comforting. It feels innocent. It's just a snack. But biologically, you have just initiated a chaotic chain reaction. The physics of osmosis. To understand the danger, we have to go back to basic high school chemistry, osmosis. Water follows salt. This is a universal law of nature. When you consume a high-sodium snack, and let's be clear, a single packet of instant noodles can contain nearly an entire day's worth of sodium. That salt hits your bloodstream quickly. Your blood suddenly becomes highly concentrated with sodium. Your body, sensing this imbalance, goes into emergency mode. It thinks the blood is too salty. We need to dilute it immediately. So it pulls water from your cells and tissues and forces it into your bloodstream. Think about a river. Suddenly you dump massive amounts of water into that river. The water level rises. The current moves faster. The pressure against the riverbanks intensifies. This is exactly what happens in your arteries. Your blood volume increases significantly. Because your aging blood vessels are stiff, remember the steel pipe analogy, they cannot expand to hold this extra fluid. The result? Your blood pressure skyrockets. The nighttime kidney strain. If this happened at lunch, you would likely walk around, drink water, and your kidneys would work overtime to filter it out while you are active. But this is happening at night. You are lying down. When you lie flat, fluid redistribution occurs. The fluid that pooled in your legs during the day moves to your upper body. Now, add the massive fluid retention from that salty snack. Your heart is now tasked with pumping a significantly heavier, more voluminous liquid through your system. Your kidneys, which should be resting, are suddenly forced into overdrive. They try to excrete the excess sodium and water. This is why many seniors who eat salty snacks wake up 3 or 4 times a night to urinate. This condition, called nocturia, disrupts your sleep cycles. Every time you wake up, your heart rate spikes and your sympathetic nervous system activates, preventing you from ever reaching the deep restorative stages of sleep where vascular repair happens. The stroke mechanism. But the fluid volume is only half the story. High sodium intake stiffens the endothelial cells, the inner lining of the blood vessels, almost immediately. Studies have shown that within 30 minutes of a high-salt meal, the ability of your arteries to dilate is impaired. So picture the scenario you have created. 1. High volume. You have increased the amount of blood in your system. 2. High resistance. You have chemically paralyzed your arteries so they cannot widen. 3. Vulnerable timing. You are asleep, so you cannot feel the warning signs like a headache or dizziness. This creates a pressure cooker effect in the brain. The smaller capillaries in the brain are incredibly thin. Under this relentless high-pressure pounding, a weak spot in a vessel wall can balloon out, forming an aneurysm, or simply rupture. This is a hemorrhagic stroke. Alternatively, the high pressure can dislodge a piece of plaque from your carotid artery, sending it shooting up into the brain where it blocks a vessel. This is an ischemic stroke. The tragedy is that instant noodles and salted nuts are often marketed as convenient or even healthy fats in the case of nuts. While nuts are healthy, salted nuts at 10 p.m. are a vascular poison for seniors. The sodium overrides any benefit from the healthy fats. The hidden sodium. You might be thinking, I don't eat salty chips. But sodium hides. It is in the slice of bread you toast. It is in the cottage cheese. It is in the canned soup. If you are eating processed food at night, you are likely eating salt. Category 2. Processed meats, the nitrate salt bomb. Now we move to the second category, which is perhaps even more insidious because many seniors believe they are doing the right thing by eating it. We are talking about protein snacks. Beef jerky, a slice of ham, a few pieces of salami, or a leftover sausage from dinner. We have been told for years that protein is good and carbs are bad. So you think, I'll just have a piece of jerky or some cold cuts. No sugar, high protein, good for me, right? Wrong. When it comes to stroke risk, processed meats are in a league of their own. They deliver a triple threat to the aging brain: sodium, saturated fat, and nitrates. The nitrate vasoconstriction effect. Let's focus on nitrates and nitrites. These are chemical preservatives added to meat to keep it pink, fresh, and free of bacteria for months. They are what makes salami look appetizing instead of gray. But when these chemicals enter the human body, they can have a potent effect on vascular tone. While natural nitrates from spinach or beets help open blood vessels, the synthetic nitrates found in processed meats, when combined with the specific proteins in meat and high sodium, can trigger oxidative stress. Oxidative stress is essentially rusting of the body on a cellular level. It damages the lining of the blood vessels, reducing the production of nitric oxide. Nitric oxide is a gas your body produces to tell blood vessels to relax and open up. It is your body's natural blood pressure medication. Processed meats effectively shut down this production, so precisely when you need your vessels to relax for sleep, you are chemically preventing them from doing so. You are creating a state of vasoconstriction, where the vessels tighten and narrow. The viscosity problem. Processed meats are also typically high in unhealthy saturated fats. Unlike the healthy fat in an avocado or olive oil, the fat in sausage and salami is solid at room temperature. Think about bacon grease in a pan. When it's hot, it's liquid. When it cools down, it turns into a white, waxy solid. When you eat this fat late at night, it enters your bloodstream as triglycerides. While your blood doesn't turn into solid wax, it does become more viscous. It becomes thicker. Now combine this with the narrowing of the vessels we just discussed. You have narrower pipes due to nitrates, plus thicker fluid due to fats, plus higher pressure due to the sodium content we discussed in point 1. This is the perfect recipe for a blockage. Blood clots do not form in fast-moving, thin blood. They form in slow-moving, thick, turbulent blood. By eating processed meat before bed, you are slowing down your circulation and making the blood sticky. If you have any existing plaque in your arteries, and most of us over 60 do, whether we know it or not, this sticky, thick blood is much more likely to catch on that plaque, pile up, and form a clot. The meat hangover. Have you ever woken up feeling heavy, groggy, or with a dull headache after a late-night heavy meal? We often call this a food coma, but in reality, it is a sign of poor oxygenation. Because your circulation was compromised all night by the vasoconstriction and thick blood, your brain did not receive the optimal amount of oxygen it needed to refresh itself. That morning headache is a warning siren. It is your brain telling you, I was suffocating last night. The specific danger of items like beef jerky is the density. Jerky is dried, meaning the water is removed, leaving behind a hyper-concentrated block of salt and preservatives. A small strip of jerky can have as much salt as a large bag of chips. It is a salt bomb that requires hours for your body to process, keeping your blood pressure elevated well into the early morning hours, the exact time when statistical data shows most strokes occur. Category 3. Sugary desserts, the nervous system saboteur. Now let's shift gears to the sweet tooth. cookies, sweet pastries, ice cream, or a slice of cake. This is a nightly ritual for millions. It is comfort. It signals the end of the day. It feels like a reward. But for a senior, sugar is not a reward. It is an alarm bell. The danger of sugar isn't just about diabetes or weight gain. In the context of stroke risk and nighttime health, the danger is about the autonomic nervous system. The insulin roller coaster. When you eat a cookie or a bowl of sweet cereal at 9:30 p.m., your blood sugar, glucose, spikes rapidly. This happens very fast because refined sugar requires almost no digestion. It hits the bloodstream like a rocket. Your body panics. High blood sugar is toxic to blood vessels. So your pancreas dumps a massive load of insulin into your blood to grab that sugar and shove it into cells. Because you ate refined sugar, which is fast-acting, the insulin often overshoots. It does its job too well. About 90 minutes to 2 hours later, right when you are falling asleep, your blood sugar crashes. It drops too low. This is called reactive hypoglycemia. The adrenaline response. Your brain senses this drop in fuel and perceives it as a life-threatening emergency. To save you, your brain commands the adrenal glands to release adrenaline and cortisol. These are stress hormones. They are designed to wake you up and get you moving to find food. So, while you are physically lying in bed, your internal chemistry is in fight or flight mode. Your heart rate accelerates, tachycardia. Your heart begins to beat harder. Your blood pressure swings wildly. This is the opposite of the peaceful, low-pressure state required for sleep. You might wake up suddenly at 2 a.m., heart pounding, sweating, feeling anxious or alert. You think, why can't I sleep? I must be stressed. You are not stressed mentally, you are stressed biologically. You are suffering from a sugar crash, arrhythmia, and stroke. For a senior heart, this adrenaline surge is risky. The electrical system of the heart in older adults is often a bit fragile. A sudden surge of adrenaline in the middle of the night can trigger arrhythmias, irregular heartbeats like atrial fibrillation, AFib. AFib is the leading cause of stroke in the elderly. When the heart beats irregularly, blood pools in the heart chambers, pooled blood clots. If that clot is pumped out of the heart, it goes straight to the brain. By eating sugar before bed, you are essentially poking your heart with an adrenaline stick while it is trying to rest. You are provoking instability. Furthermore, sugar causes immediate inflammation in the lining of the blood vessels. High glucose levels create glycation, a process where sugar molecules bind to proteins and fats, making them stiff and malformed. This contributes to the stiffening of the arteries we talked about in the beginning. It makes the vessel walls sticky, attracting more plaque and more cholesterol. So that cookie isn't just a treat. It is a trigger for inflammation, a disruptor of heart rhythm, and a guarantee that your blood pressure will not dip the way it needs to. Category 4. Deep-fried snacks. The inflammation factory. We continue our journey into the biology of the night with a category that is perhaps the most deceptive because of how satisfying it feels in the moment. Deep-fried snacks. We are talking about potato chips, French fries, fried chicken bites, spring rolls, or anything that has been submerged in hot industrial oil. Why is this so dangerous for a senior's brain? It comes down to one word: inflammation. When we hear inflammation, we usually think of a swollen knee or an aching joint. But there is a different kind of inflammation: systemic vascular inflammation. This is when the inside of your blood vessels becomes irritated, swollen, and hot. The trans fat sludge. Most fried snacks are cooked in vegetable oils high in omega-6 fatty acids, or worse, partially hydrogenated oils containing trans fats. These oils are highly unstable. When heated to high temperatures for frying, they oxidize. They turn into free radicals, unstable molecules that act like shrapnel inside your body. When you eat a bag of chips at 10 p.m., you are flooding your system with these oxidized fats. Your immune system does not recognize them as food. It recognizes them as invaders. It launches an attack. This immune response causes the walls of your arteries to swell. Now remember the picture we painted in part 1. You are over 60. Your arteries are already stiff. Now, because of the fried food, they are also swollen. The passageway for blood is getting narrower and narrower. The sticky blood phenomenon. These fats also affect the viscosity of the blood itself. They increase the levels of fibrinogen in your blood. Fibrinogen is a protein that helps blood clot. When levels are too high, your blood becomes sticky. It clumps together. Imagine your blood turning from a smooth-flowing wine into a thick, slow-moving ketchup. Now, imagine this thick fluid trying to squeeze through those swollen, stiff arteries while you sleep. The danger of plaque rupture. Here is the most terrifying mechanism: plaque rupture. Many seniors have stable plaque in their arteries, small deposits of cholesterol that have calcified and are just sitting there, not causing much trouble. However, the inflammation caused by fried foods acts like a chemical solvent. It weakens the cap, the hard shell that holds the plaque together. If that shell cracks while you are sleeping, the contents of the plaque spill out into the bloodstream. Your body immediately forms a massive clot to seal the breach. Because your blood is already sticky from the fats, the clot grows rapidly. In seconds, it can block the artery completely. If this happens in the carotid artery or a cerebral vessel, it causes a massive stroke. And remember the timing: you are asleep. You cannot slur your speech or raise your arm to check for weakness. You sleep through the event, or worse, you never wake up. The liver's night shift. We must also consider the liver. According to traditional circadian biology and modern science, the liver does its heavy detox work between 1 a.m. and 3 a.m. If you eat fried foods late at night, your liver is overwhelmed trying to break down these complex artificial fats. It cannot perform its other critical duties, such as filtering toxins from the blood or regulating blood sugar. When the liver is stressed, it releases inflammatory signals that travel straight to the heart and brain. You might wake up around 2 or 3 a.m. feeling hot, restless, or unable to get back to sleep. That is your liver screaming for help. By eating fried food, you have effectively paralyzed your body's nightly cleaning crew. Category 5. Cheese-based snacks, the saturated fat stiffening. Our final category of danger is one that many people consider wholesome: cheese. Cheese sticks, a slice of pizza, cheesy crackers, or just a block of cheddar with some crackers. But doctor, you might say, cheese has calcium. It has protein. Yes, but it also has a massive concentration of saturated fat and sodium. And when it comes to vascular health after 60, the combination of fat and salt is the ultimate stiffener. Postprandial lipemia, fat in the blood. When you eat a high-fat meal like cheese, your blood lipids, fats, rise significantly and stay elevated for 4 to 6 hours. This state is called postprandial lipemia. During this time, your blood is literally milky with fat. This fat impairs flow-mediated dilation, FMD. FMD is the ability of an artery to widen when blood flow increases. In young people, this impairment lasts an hour or so. In seniors, whose vessels are already aging, eating a block of cheese at night can impair vessel function for the entire night. Your vessels become rigid pipes that refuse to open. The brick in the stomach effect: cheese is dense. It is very hard to digest. It requires a lot of stomach acid and a lot of mechanical churning by the stomach. When you eat cheese and then lie down, you are asking your body to perform heavy manual labor. To do this, your body diverts blood flow away from the brain and towards the stomach. This is called blood stealing. For a healthy person, this is fine. But for a senior who might already have reduced blood flow to the brain, cerebral hypoperfusion, stealing more blood for digestion can tip the scales. It can lead to transient ischemic attacks, mini strokes, during sleep. You might not even know you had one, but it leaves behind tiny spots of damage in the brain, which over time lead to vascular dementia and cognitive decline. The sodium multiplier. And let's not forget, cheese is preserved with salt. A single slice of pizza can have over 600 milligrams of sodium. So with cheese snacks, you are getting the sodium trap, Category 1, combined with the fat stiffening, Category 5. It is a double blow to your vascular system. 5. Practical application. What should you eat? I have shared a lot of scary information. You might be feeling like you can never eat again. That is absolutely not true. You can snack. You just need to snack strategically. We need to flip the script. Instead of eating foods that constrict, inflame, and stiffen your vessels, we want to choose foods that relax, soothe, and protect them. We are looking for 3 things: potassium, magnesium, and fiber. 1. The potassium powerhouse, banana or avocado. If you are hungry at 9 p.m., eat half a banana. Why? Because potassium is the biological antidote to sodium. Sodium squeezes your vessels, potassium relaxes them. It signals your kidneys to dump excess salt. Eating a banana is like taking a natural mild blood pressure pill. It helps lower the pressure in your brain before sleep. 2. The magnesium soother. Almonds or pumpkin seeds. Have a small handful, 10 to 12 nuts, of raw, unsalted almonds or pumpkin seeds. Magnesium is nature's muscle relaxant. It helps the smooth muscle cells lining your arteries to unclench. It also calms the nervous system, helping you drift into deep sleep. Just make sure they are unsalted. If you eat salted nuts, you undo all the good work. 3rd, the fiber sponge, warm oatmeal. A small cup of warm oatmeal, made with water, not heavy milk, is fantastic. Oats contain beta-glucan fiber. Think of this fiber as a sponge. It moves through your digestive system and soaks up cholesterol and toxins, preventing them from entering your bloodstream. It is warm, comforting, and stabilizes your blood sugar so you don't get that dangerous insulin spike and crash we talked about earlier. 4. The hydration hero, sliced apple or pear. These fruits are high in water and pectin. They provide volume to make you feel full, but they digest quickly and cleanly, leaving no toxic residue for your liver to fight overnight. The golden rule of timing. Whatever you choose, try to stop eating 2 hours before bed. Give your stomach a chance to finish its work so that when you close your eyes, your energy can go towards repairing your brain, not digesting your food. Common mistakes seniors make. I see patients making the same mistakes over and over again, thinking they are being healthy. Mistake number 1, the "I earned it" fallacy. I walked 30 minutes today, so I can have this bowl of ice cream. Exercise is wonderful, but it does not cancel out the vascular damage of a sugar bomb at night. You cannot outwalk a bad diet, especially not when your arteries are 70 years old. Treat your body like a temple, not a bank account where you deposit exercise to withdraw junk food. Mistake number 2, the medication shield. I take blood pressure pills so I can eat what I want. This is the most dangerous mindset. Medication is a safety net. It is not a license to abuse your body. If you eat high-sodium snacks while on blood pressure medication, you are fighting the drug. You are making it work twice as hard, and often the food wins. The drug cannot overcome a massive influx of salt and fat. Mistake number 3, combining with alcohol. I'll just have some cheese and a glass of wine. Alcohol relaxes the throat muscles, causing sleep apnea snoring, while simultaneously raising heart rate and blood pressure later in the night. The rebound effect. Combining alcohol with salty snacks creates severe dehydration and puts immense strain on the brain. Warning: listen to your body. How do you know if your nighttime snacks are already hurting you? Your body is likely giving you signals right now. Do you have morning headaches? If you wake up with a dull ache at the base of your skull or behind your eyes, this is often a sign of nocturnal hypertension. Your blood pressure was too high while you slept. Do you have brain fog until noon? If it takes you hours to feel fully awake, it means your brain didn't get enough oxygen-rich blood during the night. The sludge we talked about prevented deep cleaning. Do you wake up to urinate more than once? As mentioned, this is your kidneys frantically trying to dump the salt you ate. It destroys your sleep quality. Do you have restless legs or cramps? This can be a sign of electrolyte imbalance caused by high sodium and poor circulation to the extremities. If you have these symptoms, please listen to them. They are the check engine lights of your body. Do not wait for the smoke to start pouring out. I know this has been a heavy topic. We have talked about strokes, clots, and rigid arteries. It can feel overwhelming, perhaps even frightening. You might be looking at your pantry and feeling like everything is a poison. But I want to end on a message of absolute hope and empowerment. The human body is a miracle. Even at 60, 70, or 80 years old, it retains an incredible capacity to heal if you just give it a chance. The moment, and I mean the very moment, you stop putting these heavy salts, sugars, and fats into your system at night, your body breathes a sigh of relief. Tonight, if you choose the banana instead of the chips, your kidneys will rest. Tonight, your blood will stay fluid and smooth. Tonight, your blood pressure will dip into that beautiful, restorative rhythm. Tonight, your brain will wash itself clean. You don't have to wait months for results. You will feel it tomorrow morning. You will wake up with a clearer head. You will have more energy. Your legs will feel lighter. You are not destined to have a stroke just because you are aging. You are in the driver's seat. You have the knowledge now. You understand the why. You are no longer navigating in the dark. You have the map to a longer, healthier life right in your hands. Thank you if you are still watching till now. Thank you for allowing me to share this vital information with you. My goal is not to scare you, but to arm you with the truth so you can enjoy many more golden years with your grandchildren, your hobbies, and the people you love. I want to ask you a favor. In the comments below, tell me, which of these bad snacks is your weakness? Is it the salty nuts? The late-night cookie? Let's be honest with each other. We are a community here to support one another, not to judge. And tell me, what healthy swap are you going to try tonight? If you found this video helpful, please share it with a friend or family member who needs to hear this. You might just save a life. Stay healthy, sleep well, and be kind to your arteries. I'll see you in the next video.